Welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Took this weekend off. We did a drinks and a movie night over on Locals, and I almost said OF, but I've been doing many stories about that. I do not have an OF page. And then I watched the football games yesterday, and congratulations, I guess, to the Eagle and Kansas City. Although the Kansas City and Bengals game, man, the refs just really got too involved with that. So if you're an American football fan, my Bills did not make it once again. So that's the way it rolls. According to CNN, which is mainstream, if not definitely not accurate news, but they are mainstream news, they now say cuckolding can be positive for some couples, studies say. This is not an opinion. This is one of their news stories because it doesn't say anything about opinion. So we're going to talk about this and why they are pushing for women to hook up with multiple men and why men will be happy if they do this. Now, not all men, but they say, oh, you should explore it. And I'm like, when you've got the news pushing this stuff, we have fallen so far off the path. So here's and the reason why I didn't put that on the thumbnails because it doesn't all fit. I have to find creative words to squeeze in there. Before I jump into that, make sure either go to Rumble or go to locals.com. It's complete. I did a video about the end of the content girls, the spicy content girls, because men's AI is replacing them. I followed all YouTube's guidelines, and it should have been monetized, and it should have been fine. YouTube wouldn't allow it. So you can watch, undressed women doing yoga, but apparently you can't watch girls in bikinis and talk about that stuff. So it's on Locals if you don't want to, or excuse me, it's on Rumble, mildly edited, and there's like 10 minutes more of content over on Locals. Just got to go over there. It's not supporter only. Just got to show up and you can find it. The other thing is that, all this AI that's coming out, it's woke. I mean, it's woke stuff. And if this is the AI that we get going into the future, we're in a lot of trouble as gentlemen. This is from ChatGPT. Somebody says, tell me a joke about women. Says, I'm sorry, I'm unable to tell jokes that might be considered offensive or inappropriate. Is there anything else I can help you with? And then they say, okay, tell me a joke about men. And it should be the same answer, but no. It says, sure, here's a joke about men. Why do men like smart women? Because opposites attract. Now you could say, okay, thanks. They're just basically insulting men, calling them stupid. So I've got this, and I've got I'm going to read this main story here, and then I've got 4 more things I'm going to talk about on Locals. So if you're interested, and if you're wondering why are content creators, why are the stories getting tamer and boring and there's nothing new? It's because we can't talk about it on YouTube, and everybody's like, no, I'm just going to stick with YouTube. I'm good, thanks. It's like, okay. I know there's a lot of content creators that aren't over on Rumble or various places on Locals, but if you're not going to move, you're going to get the watered down edited stuff that YouTube wants you to see. The real stuff's moving over to Rumble or Locals or offsite. That's just what it is. From CNN, cuckolding can be positive for some couples, studies say. Now, this is a couple years old, but this just started popping up and cropping up kind of around the web a little bit more. And so I wanted to talk about it because they're trying to mainstream this stuff. And I'm sorry, but look, if you're a man that wants to, if you're a single guy that wants to, play the field a little bit, or women that want to play the field, I got it. I got no hate against them. I don't think you're doing yourself a favor in the long run. I speak from experience. But, this one woman, 2 men thing, it makes the men weak. And there's a video I saw the other day. I wish I remembered to save it. I could probably find it if I dug far enough on Twitter, but that gives me a migraine. They say it's become a very strong, I have to watch some of these words. You know what? Fuck, I'm just going to read it, and then I'll edit. It's more editing, but I'll edit the words out on YouTube, and at least you Locals guys don't get punished for YouTube. Cuckolding has become fetishized into a powerful sexual fantasy for some. Sometimes just sharing a sexy thought can be arousing enough. You don't have to follow through. So they do say that much, at least. They say in our current political climate, the term cuck, short for cuckservative, short for cuckold, has become an insult to the so-called alt-right aimed at men they view as spineless and emasculated. Oh, okay. I don't think they're using it as short for cuck-servative. I haven't heard that one before. Spineless and emasculated, they call it a slur. The slur has been roots in the concept of cuckolding, or having an adulterous partner. Here's the thing, though. That's only one way. It's only one woman sharing men, not men sharing women. And men, I'm sorry. Look, if you're a dude that's in a poly relationship or whatever, you're weak. Unless you're the dude that has like 5 women. But I still think you're not going to be happy with that. But if you're willing to share a woman with another man, I'm sorry, you're weak. You're effeminate and you're weak. You are a cuck. They say, but according to a recent study by David Lay, Justin Lay Miller, and the writers Dan Savage, acting on the cuckolding fantasies can be a largely positive experience for many couples and hardly a sign of weakness. So again, they're just kind of like, hey, this is a good idea, guys. Like, it's not a sign of weakness. You got to be a real man to be masculine and strong enough in your own, I don't know, self-worth or ego to let your woman sleep with multiple men. I'm sorry, I don't think so. References to cuckolding appear in literature as early as the 13th century, usually in the form of male characters who feel their child has been sired by another man during an act of infidelity. They say today, however, cuckolding has become fetishized into a powerful sexual fantasy for some men who get aroused by the idea of their romantic partner engaging in sexual activity with someone else. Women also share this fantasy, but less so than men. Yeah, but it wouldn't be cuckoldry then. And I don't know of too many women that are like, oh, I want to see you plow another woman. Maybe. But again, the whole point is they speak with a light tone, like, oh, if you call someone a cuck, that's a slur. But if you if you try it out, it can be powerful. It's like, no, just fuck off. Just fuck off with this shit. This fantasy has been around as long as marriage and sexuality, said Lee, whose book Insatiable Wives, addressing cuckolding in heterosexual couples. But we're hearing more and more about it these days, and more people are rejecting the social stigma against this fantasy. Yes, because men are becoming weak, non-masculine, needy, desperate, and they're willing to do anything for a woman, even if it's just to get, I don't know, half or a quarter of her attention. Indeed, the numbers suggest that cuckolding, or at least thinking about it, is more common than you might imagine. For his forthcoming book, Tell Me What You Want, The Science of Sexual Desire and How It Can Help Improve Your Sex Life, Lee Miller surveyed thousands of Americans and found that 58% of men and about a third of women had fantasized about it. Now, I have a hard time believing you're asking 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds about this stuff. I have a feeling that it's probably younger men. And I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. How you can let another woman get pleasure from another guy as well as you, and then let her double dip on resources, double dip on the safety and protection of men, the double dipping of everything. She ends up, and here's the thing, what if she ends up liking the other guy more? What if she ends up wanting to sleep with him more? What if she wants to share the bed with him more? Where are you? Where are you? You're like, I mean, you're in a constant competition for the woman's attention, so both of you have to, jump through hoops and do whatever she wants, or she'll just get rid of you and keep the other guy. Like, how is this a win for men? I just do not get it. They say part of what makes it arousing for straight men is that they tend to view it as a taboo act. In a society or culture that idealizes monogamy, this fantasy is a current narrative that's available to people to conceptualize their fantasies. So, look, some of you guys that are into this, like, again, I've been for a long time a live and let live guy. That's just kind of how I've always been. But I can tell you this, there is zero good that will come from sharing a woman with a man. As a matter of fact, let me check my Twitter posts here. I think I actually have the video. Yes, I do have the video because I'm a good boy, and I tend to save things that I think are ridiculous on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's at Bachelor Joker. I post a lot of stuff. A lot of it's news and other things that we don't talk about today. Here's the video in question. And it's asking my husband and boyfriend what their favorite thing about each other is. Now, the first one she talks to, the guy with the big, thick black beard, he's the boyfriend because she did another video about this. And then there's you can see the guy that's the husband. He's the clean-shaven one. You can just see his soul has left his body.
Asking my husband and boyfriend what's their favorite thing about each other.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Ronnie?
He makes dinner so I don't have to.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Ryan?
This is the husband. I guess he's not clean-shaven, just shorter beard.
Probably the way that he treats you with love and respect, no matter what. Because you deserve that.
So she says because he's, look at his eyes, man. This is a puppy dog. This is a beat man. And this other, and he's looks like he is sitting in a studio in front of a computer or something, kind of like I do behind a black screen here. And this guy's playing video games, and he's got a Reagan Bush 84, which I have to think he's wearing, ironically. Maybe not. Piercing at the top of the ears. He's got the gauges in the bottom of the ears. He's got the bull ring through his nose. Neither one of them, I mean, this guy at least seems a little bit happier about it, but neither guy seems happy. Wouldn't you rather be alone? Wouldn't you rather just be alone? And if you're unable to be alone and you think you're lucky to, because I mean, this woman's not, like she might be, she doesn't look to be extremely heavy. She doesn't look to be extremely heavy. She's relatively attractive, of course, also with a bull ring in through her nose. Are you so desperate for the attention of a good-looking woman, or even just a woman, that you're willing to give up your masculinity, your balls? I mean, I don't get it. And many of you watch, I'm sure some of you be angry at me for saying this. This is just my opinion. This is my opinion. If you're happy doing this stuff, good on you, but what happens when she likes the boyfriend more? What happens when she's tired of you and kicks you out and then decides to go with another guy? It's just basically being like an open relationship, except she gets all the benefit. 2 incomes, 2 men, all the attention. And if you're the losing guy in this scenario, you've lost. And if you're the winning guy in this scenario, you've also lost. That's my take on it. Maybe many of you might get angry with me for saying it, but it is what it is. For those of us on Locals, we'll continue on. For those of you on YouTube, join me over on Rumble or join me over on Locals, because you guys are not going to you just can't get the good content anymore over here.